Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Hello, 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 hello. Yes. Hello, 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 Atharva. How are you? Atharva, can you hear me? Hello, Atharva. Can you hear me? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. We'll wait for just 1 or 2 minutes and then I will start. Welcome all. We'll just wait for a minute and then we can start. Okay, everybody. I think it's past 11. We got to start. Very simple. Today, I just want to tell you some effective study techniques, so that you can study a little better for the upcoming exams. That way, board exams, entrance exams, whatever, college prelims, our prelims, etc. Now, important thing is that first you finish your portion, make a list of chapters which you have not studied at all so far. Some parts will be there in certain chapters that you have not studied. So, first thing is make a list of chapters which you have not studied at all, or parts in the chapters which you have not studied, and first tackle that. Right now it's December, another 4 months, 3 months, whatever, and your board exams will be there or other exams. And now it is important that you finish most or almost all your portions. So first, I think you should jot down some tips, 7 or 8 tips I'm going to give you. It is necessary that you jot down. First, quickly write down. First one, finish all portion. Finish unprepared parts. Finish unprepared parts. Finish unprepared parts. Second thing, please see. Second thing is that now how will you finish unprepared parts? You will also have to, revise other parts which you might have prepared earlier. So second thing is very simple. You got to make some timetable first. Very, very, very important. I remember my days. Please see. I remember my days when I was a student. I would always, I would make a timetable, and then only I used to study. I realized that 11, 12 sciences and beyond, 11, 12 sciences and beyond, you can perform better provided you have a timetable in place. Otherwise, you might feel board exam is 3 months away. 3 months seems to be a long time, but if you break down the portion on a day-to-day basis, okay, then you realize it's a very, very short time to handle the complete magnitude of the portion. So make a timetable. Today you are going to study what, tomorrow what, etc., etc. And while making the timetable, you have to ensure that there are certain chapters which we forget. Organic chemistry, today you do, next week you forget. Integration, there are so many types. Different applications of integration, applications of derivative, applications of differential equations, lot of variety is there. So very important that you make a timetable. Please see, very, very, very important that you make a timetable, and and in that timetable, last half an hour of every day before going to sleep, please revise either organic chemistry or some mathematics, etc., which you should be in touch and which you forget. For example, integration has tens of types, 70, 80 types, etc. So how will you remember? It's a matter of preparation. So every day you got to do one or two types. You got to revise one or two types. And I'm saying two sums, one of each type. Two sums, 20 minutes, something of that sort. Last 30 minutes you keep for that. Organic chemistry, only methods of preparation on one day. Simple. 4 methods of preparation, 5 methods of preparation. You write down actually reactions. Only reactions you write down. Baki sab description nahi likhne ka. Okay. Then you also do, please see, you also do after organic chemistry, there will be some parts in physics or some numericals which you get confused with. ऐसा कुछ एक timetable करके रखने का. So last half an hour every day for revising some things which you forget, and throughout the day you got to do newer things which you have not prepared. Okay, and make a timetable and keep a target of 31st December, keep a target of 15th January, whatever, and finish off all portions, first vision as well as revision. Okay, so make a timetable. It's perfectly all right if after 10 days you realize that you're lagging and you make a fresh timetable. That's perfectly all right. Okay, so first tip. Second tip, write down, make a timetable. Make a timetable. Make a timetable. It's perfectly all right if you tear off timetables and make a fresh timetable after 10, 15 days to accommodate newer changes. Third thing now. Third thing, please try to understand. As you sow, so you reap. As you sow, so you reap. People misunderstand that by their intelligence, they will do well in an exam. Intelligence, I assure you, is good if you have it, or in whatever quantity you have it. Keep that aside. Important thing, most important thing is your strategy and preparation. Strategy and preparation is going to give you better performances in exams at this stage of the game. Better performances in exam at this stage of the game. So very simple. I want you to, I want you to have the right strategy. What do I mean by right strategy? After you have made a timetable, you sit to study. Do not stress yourself. 8 to 10 working hours. Every human can work efficiently per day. 8 to 10 working hours. So sleep well. Divide your 8 or 10 working hours into three parts throughout the day: morning, afternoon, evening. Sleep for 8 hours at night. Sleep for 8 hours at night. Okay. Now, important thing is, please see, important thing is, most important thing is those two or three parts that you divide, you properly study with a paper in hand. Paper matlab rough paper, where if you are reading something, you have got to jot down some keywords, draw a diagram, draw a graph. Okay, write units, jot down, then you are active. If you jot down, then you are active. Otherwise you will forget. Otherwise you will forget, and you will feel drowsy. You will feel drowsy. Please try to understand. You will feel drowsy otherwise. Another thing, please see. Another thing, if you are studying something like physics, so you read 1 or 2 pages, immediately jot down summary, 3 4 words, 4 5 words, underline key things, draw a diagram, draw a graph. Okay, important thing is that. So please write down. Write down next point. Write, write while you study. मतलब draw diagrams, draw graphs, chemical reactions you write down, ऐसा कुछ. And when I say draw diagrams, don't keep pens, take pencil, scale वगैरह, वो सब exam में. Pencil, scale लेके 15 minutes for one diagram ऐसा नहीं रे. 2 minutes में 3 diagram, 3 times. It's a very fast. And labeling also. Typically what I do is, if I want to master a diagram, I see it and try to draw. I have to still refer to the textbook and draw. Then I close my textbook and try to draw. Still I have to refer. And third time, then I am able to draw without referring to the textbook, and I am able to draw it the next day in the paper, or for 1 or 2 days you can remember. If you study something today, don't have a myth that you will remember it off until January or February. Whatever you study today, perfectly you remember for 1 or 2 days. After that, you start forgetting things. That is perfectly normal. So first step, yeah, first step was to finish unprepared parts. Second is to make a timetable. Third is to write while you study. Write while you study. Fourth step now, please see. Fourth step, important thing. It is necessary that we, come out of our comfort zone. There are some topics that we are very comfortable about, but there are some topics, some subjects that we are not comfortable about. Please see, please see that you finish those topics also. If there is something that you don't like a particular chapter, if there is some topic that you don't understand, you ask somebody's help, ask my help, ask anybody's help, see videos, see whatever. You have so much resources at disposal today. Use another book, ask a friend, ask your teacher. But most important, you finish those topics that you don't like, because in our board exam the paper is so designed that on every chapter you will have to attempt something or the other, generally speaking. Okay, so please write down next tip. Finish topics that you don't like. Finish topics that you don't like. Now it is important. Okay, one day prior to the paper it will be not so simple. Next, now please see everybody. Next tip, keep pages, corner of pages folded for parts which are a little difficult. Now, in every subject, there will be some parts which are difficult. And while revising right now, or while doing, you'll realize after you study a particular sum or a derivation, कि on my own, I wouldn't have been able to do it. मेरे खुद से मेरे को नहीं आता था. If I'm studying it from the book, मेरे को आ रहा है, but खुद से मेरे को नहीं आता था. For such parts, please see, for such parts, it is important you keep corner of page folded, and one day before the exam, you should surely revise those parts and go. Important thing is, remember that exam is a matter of preparation. In those 3 hours of the paper, what you know you are going to write, what you have forgotten before the exam, and what you are going to forget after the exam is unimportant. It is not going to be counted. So you have to ensure that what you are studying, you got to remember in the 3 hours of the paper. In the 3 hours of the paper. So जरा हटके वाला different sums, जरा difficult sums, उसका corner of pages you keep folded and revise them one day before the exam. Surely all the corner pages, all the folded corner वाला pages, and surely then, if something similar comes, you can reproduce it in the paper and get full marks. So please write down next tip: keep corner of pages folded for difficult questions or difficult concepts, and revise them one day before the exam. Next one. Next one. Now please see. Next one. Our prelims will come, our tests will come, college exams will come. How will you prepare for that? Very simple. One day before the exam, you should peruse, you should go through all topics, 101%. One day before the exam, you should go through all topics. So you will scan through all chapters generally, one day before the exam, all chapters, and keep on jotting down important things. Don't just read. And if you find something very boring and sleep वगैरह आता है, तो walk and read. Book रखने का, walk, stroll in your room only and read. Okay, and have a second revision. Please do this. Some people still, even after me repeatedly telling, don't do it. Tomorrow is my exam. Today I revise everything. Scan करने का. Last day को सब solve करने को time ही नहीं है. You have 20 chapters, you have 15 chapters, whatever. So we will scan everything. And please see, and have one more revision. Means if tomorrow morning is my paper, tonight before sleeping, last 1.5 hours, last 2 hours, scan through everything very quickly. That second revision will tremendously improve your performance. The second revision will give you more confidence. Okay, if my paper tomorrow is in the afternoon, then in the morning I should do that second revision a few hours before your paper. Okay, but that second revision, just scanning the whole syllabus in 2 hours, scanning fatafat, will give you more confidence. And last part, please see, last part, what will you do in the paper? What will you do in the paper? Now, please see, in the paper, you have to bear some things in mind. Please, please, it is important that you attempt easy questions first, write question number correctly, wrong question number written equal to no marks given, bold का rule. क्वेश्चन 7 आप लिखते हो और गलती से क्वेश्चन 6 का आंसर लिखते हैं उसके सामने, तो 0 मार्क्स. Write question number. If you feel a question is wrong or out of the syllabus, write the question number and come. Question number written equal to you have attempted the question in the paper. Secondly, once if you don't know something, leave that aside. 3 marks, 4 marks के लिए, 5 marks के लिए, 6 marks के लिए over tension नहीं लेने का. रिमाइंडर 70 मार्क्स, रिमाइंडर 80 मार्क्स ऑफ द पेपर पूरा लिखने का है. रिमाइंडर 70 मतलब रिमाइंडर वॉटएवर 64 मार्क्स वगैरह, 6 मार्क्स का नहीं आ रहा है, कीप दैट असाइड. 6 मार्क्स का टेंशन बाद में लेते हैं. फर्स्ट राइट एवरीथिंग एल्स एंड देन ट्राई टू सैल्वेज इन दैट क्वेश्चन. जो नहीं आता है उसमें कुछ तो लिखिए, फॉर्मूला लिखिए, सब्स्टिट्यूट कीजिए. डोंट कैंसिल एनीथिंग. whatever is right, you might get 1 mark, you might get 2 marks. जितना मिलेगा उतना अपने को बेनिफिट है. Try to understand. Every little will improve our score. Okay, so don't give up. Don't give a hint to the paper checker that you do not know something. When you are writing my prelims, when you are writing college prelims, others prelims, whatever, don't give a hint to the paper checker that you don't know. You write जैसा अच्छा लगता है वैसा write, and then you can of course hope for the best. But important thing is आप लिखिए जो सही लगता है. If you don't know something, take a hint from the question. Write whatever you know. Write formula. Write something. Whatever makes sense to you. Draw a graph. Write some unit. कुछ तो लिखिए. Force the teacher to give marks. Force the teacher to give marks. Most important. And इन अ वर्स्ट केस आपके पास बहुत टाइम बचा है. समटाइम्स इट कुड बी बैड न्यूज, मतलब अपने को काफी पेपर में नहीं आता है. बट सेम पहले जो फर्स्ट सेकंड पेज पे कुछ क्वेश्चन लिखा वो एंड में वापस सेम क्वेश्चन लिखने का. कभी कभी डबल मार्क्स मिला तो अच्छा है अपने को. यू अंडरस्टैंड मी. नॉट एवरी टीचर इज डम वगैरह, डोंट मिसअंडरस्टैंड मी, बट you can just try different strategies. Okay, generally this is what I wanted to tell in today's session. It's a session number 1. We'll have further some sessions in the future to motivate you, to guide you. Anybody has any questions about strategy, approach, please you can ask in the chat. Anybody has any questions, please ask. Anybody having any questions? Anybody having any questions, feel free to ask. Okay, So if no questions, I'll shortly end the session. And please, you all know we have a performance booster pack where I've been recording. There are more than 1,600. As on today, there are more than 1,600 videos there. Please just give me one moment. Just give me one moment. हेलो, हाँ बोलिए. मेरा लाइव चल रहा है इधर से. क्या बात करते हैं? क्या आ रहा है? ओके, मेरा तो चल रहा है इधर. सेशन खत्म होने को है, 20 मिनट हो गए. ओके. Okay, everybody. So what I was saying was, please see, what I was saying was very important. You please study everything. You know we have a performance booster pack for Graisa. So please check that. Atharva Master is asking how to revise inorganic chemistry. Important. Atharva, please see, for inorganic, what you need to do is there's a lot of thing to be remembered. Okay. Firstly, see the questions which are there at the back of the chapter, at the end of the chapter. Okay. Revise in the light of the questions. Revise in the light of the questions. Okay. 2 पेजेस पढ़ने का मतलब जस्ट स्कैन करने का 2 या 3 पेजेस. वो 2 या 3 पेजेस में क्या है, प्लीज सी 2 या 3 पेजेस में क्या है, उस पर क्वेश्चंस देखने का फर्स्ट. ओके. स्पेशली फॉर स्टेट बोर्ड, सिमिलर क्वेश्चंस रिपीटेड, स्पेशली फॉर स्टेट बोर्ड, नॉट ऑलवेज फॉर आईसीएसई, आईएससी एंड सीबीएसई. उसके लिए it is not always, but state board is very predictable. So whatever questions are there, you see the questions and then you read in the light of the questions. Okay. And answers mark करके लिखिए. Now you don't have time to write all answers, but answers mark करके लिखिए. मार्क करके रखिए in the textbook. Answer question 1, answer to question 2, answer to question 3 वगैरह ऐसा. Okay. ऐसा रिवाइज इट इन द लाइट ऑफ द पेपर एंड डू इट मल्टीपल टाइम्स. आई टोल्ड यू ना, लास्ट हाफ एन आवर वगैरह ऐसा करने का है. तो टेक अभी. और इनऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री अगेन इट्स अ लॉट ऑफ मटेरियल, लॉट टू रिमेंबर. सो समझो क्या कर सकते हैं मालूम है, इवनिंग में, मॉर्निंग में वो करेंगे ना, थोड़ा नींद आने लगेगा, करेंगे तो भी चलेगा, बट ऐसा मॉर्निंग में सुबह 7 o'clock को आप उठते हैं, समझो आई एम नॉट इवन एक्सपेक्टिंग 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock को आप बैठ गए पढ़ाई को, तो 11:30 को अगर वो चालू करने का, 11:30 to 12, 11:30 to 12:15 वगैरह ऐसा स्मॉल 45 minutes एवरी डे, 1 hour एवरी डे, वॉट एवर, एंड रिवाइज फ्रॉम द लाइट ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस. ओके. एंड ऐसा स्टेप बाय स्टेप, मतलब इट्स अ बिग एलिफेंट बट वी हैव टू ईट इट पीस बाय पीस. स्टेप बाय स्टेप थोड़ा करते जाइए एंड वो होएगा. अगेन एंड अगेन रिवाइज करना पड़ेगा. देयर इज नो अदर ऑप्शन. स्कैन इट, रिवाइज इट अगेन, स्कैन इट, रिवाइज इट अगेन. इट्स अ लॉट ऑफ वॉल्यूमिनस डेटा, बट वी हैव टू रिमेंबर. सी द क्वेश्चन. यू शुड नो आंसर्स टू ऑल क्वेश्चंस गिवन एट द एंड ऑफ द चैप्टर. उसमें भी थोड़ा डायग्राम्स है, स्ट्रक्चर्स है समटाइम्स ऑफ कंपाउंड्स वगैरह, सो वो करने का है. केमिकल रिएक्शंस फॉर प्रिपरेशन और केमिकल प्रॉपर्टीज है, वो वापस वापस लिखने का है. सो देयर इज नो वन वे, but study in the light of the questions, because some of those questions are going to land in your question paper. Atharva, M, is that clear? Atharva Master, anybody else having any question? Anybody else having any question? Okay, I think I will end the session now. Okay, have a good evening, sorry, good day further. We'll meet again later. Goodbye. Chaliye everybody, I will end the stream. Goodbye.